Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Mari. I'm one of the librarians at Portland Public Library in Portland, Maine, and I'm here today to start our picture book biographies for Women's History Month. Now, anytime that we have a History Month, it usually is for a marginalized group, a group that has had their progress and ideas and success somehow stopped by other groups. And so when we read books, we're reading books from all of these different groups, from women, from people of color, from people who are disabled, or people who are on the LGBTQ spectrum. We're reading those books all the time. But we take these months to pay special attention because they're often left out. And so when we have a month where we pay special attention to one of these groups, we can help bridge that gap and make sure that everyone knows about these stories that are out there, because it can help inspire people who might not have known that there were people out there like them doing the incredible things that they're doing. Focusing on stories of these incredible women inspires girls of yesterday, the girls of today, and the girls of tomorrow to do wonderful, magnificent things. So let's start with our very first one I'm really excited about. So let's start with our very first book, one that I'm really excited about, which is Planting Stories, The Life of Librarian and Storyteller, Pura Belpré. You might recognize this person's name because she has an award named after her that is given every year by the American Library Association. This book is by Anika Aldamuy Denise, and the illustrations are by Paola Escobar. Look at these gorgeous end pages. This book is published by Harper Collins. So the beautiful end pages and this illustration of Pura Belpré. Planting Stories. It is 1921. Pura Teresa Belpré lives in her home in San Juan and leaves her home for a visit to Nueva York. Words travel with her, stories her abuela taught her, cuentos folklóricos Pura retold in the shade of a tamarind tree in Puerto Rico. Now a new island stretches before her, ripe for planting the seeds of the cuentos she carries, the stories. Manhattan, a city of bustle and hustle, bigger and louder, crowded, yet alive with hope and possibility. What began as a visit to celebrate her sister's wedding becomes the first step in a new land. Y una vida nueva for Pura, and a new life. She works first in a garment factory, but it is cold floors and hard edges, not the soft, fertile ground where her seeds take root. Then a golden opportunity, una benedicción. The library needs a bilingual assistant. Pura speaks Spanish, English, and French. She is perfect for the job. But where are her abuela's stories? Not one folktale from Puerto Rico on the shelves. How lucky for the library that Pura has story seeds ready to plant and grow. In the children's room, she lights the story hour candle and begins. Her eyes dance, her voice sings. Pura's words paint a picture of a little house with a round balcony where Martina, a beautiful Spanish cockroach, meets Perez, a handsome and gallant mouse. El Ración Perez y la Cucaracha Martina, a tale from the tamarind tree. When Pura's story is done, each child makes a wish on the candle, and with a wisp of air, whoosh, the vela is blown out. Now Pura has a wish too, to plant her story seeds throughout the land. Pura learns to make puppets. She snips and sews their clothes and paints their delicate faces. Families come to hear her folktales en Inglés y Español, to watch Pura's puppets dance across the stage of her story. But the library needs libros for its shelf. How can more children read Perez y Martina and other cuentos de Puerto Rico? Pura puts her story in an envelope and mails it to Frederick Warren, a publisher. Soon, Perez y Martina is a book. Now a published author, a puppeteer, and a storyteller, Pura travels from branch to branch, classroom to classroom, to churches and community centers, planting her story seeds in the hearts and mind of children new to this island who wish to remember la laguna y los colores of home. Worrying, writing, learning, speaking, teaching, traveling, Pura does not slow down until, like the beautiful Martina, she meets her Perez. On a December day in New York, Pura marries the musician Clarence Cameron White. Un ano away from the library, she decides 1 year to start a new life as a wife. But a year stretches on. Together they travel to new cities. Clarence plays his music and Pura tells her stories. They are happy years. Years of music and writing, separations and reunions, friends and families and stories, always. Until one June day in New York, Clarence stops playing his music, and Pura's story must begin again. It is 1961. Pura returns to the library. There are others now, storytellers, who make puppets dance, who read Perez y Martina, The Tiger and the Rabbit, Juan Bobo, The Three Magi, and many more of Pura's stories to the children. The seeds she has planted, the roots that grew into shoots into the open air of possibility, have become a lush landscape into which she steps as though she had never left. Here's the author's note about writing this book and about Pura. Here is the selected bibliography, the books that the author used to write this story and have the facts right, and the archival collections, as well as some articles, films, and a few other books that you could read if you wanted to learn more about Pura Belpré. And then there is also descriptions of the stories that were mentioned in the book. And then again, the end pages where you can see, now that we've learned about them, you know that's Perez y Martina. I hope you enjoyed learning about Pura Belpré. She was an inspiration, and in the library world, we're really excited to have such a wonderful figure be part of our history. I hope you'll join us each day for more wonderful stories of the accomplishments that women have done in the past, in the present, and be inspired maybe for some accomplishments of your own in the future. My name is Sarah Mari. I'm one of the librarians at Portland Public Library in Portland, Maine. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.